This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with their latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We are host Cheryl.
And Jay.
All right, I'm like moving. If you are watching our video version, I have on this strange, like, behind the ear bob. It almost looks like a do-rag, to be very honest with you.
Because it's moving as one unit in the back.
Yeah, the back is flowing in the wind, so it's very interesting. So if you don't check out our podcast on YouTube, you should check it out because I look pretty goofy right now. Anywho, Jay is on deck for trivia for this week with this week's movie, which was Ballerina, Lady John Wick.
Okay, so the movie trivia for Ballerina is it's thin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not a lot of movie trivia for this movie. But there is one tidbit. So there was an actress who was considered for the lead role of Ballerina. We all know it ended up being Ana de Armas.
Yes.
But there was an actress who was being considered, didn't enter talks, but was just in consideration. I don't even know if the actress was aware that they were being considered.
Okay, they like wrote her down on the post-it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Who is this actress? They also happen to be a pop star as well.
So it ain't Anya Taylor-Joy.
No.
Because that's when you said somebody else, that's the first person that popped in.
Talking about famous singer-actresses.
Who's also a pop star?
Mm-hmm.
Are they like a K-pop star?
No.
Okay, because I wouldn't have been able to know.
Yeah, no.
Are they relevant today?
Yes. And music and acting.
Are they black or are they white?
They're white.
Okay. I was just like, there's a possibility there. That also, have they been in good movies?
Yes.
Recent movies?
Yes.
Recent as in post-COVID?
Yes, absolutely post-COVID.
Okay.
They are a good actress. They are not always in good movies.
Okay. And
they're usually not the problem with their movies.
And they sing?
Yes.
Hits?
Yes.
Hits, would I see this person in concert?
Hits, not hits that you listen to. Hits that you're aware of.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's not Dula Peep.
Okay, dang.
So let's go ahead and get Dula Peep out the way.
I love me some Dula Peep.
She would have worked, though. No, I mean, I don't know how well she would have acted.
Okay. She would have had the look.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Her and
Ariana Grande?
No.
Okay.
But close.
I'm in the realm?
Yes, very close.
Miley Cyrus?
Oh.
She's an actress. And
no, I didn't think of that. No, but yeah.
Not her? Okay. Am I further or closer?
You're further.
With my Miley Cyrus is
you were close with Ariana Grande.
And I do the
Ariana Grande has worked with this singer-actress.
That ain't gonna help me none.
Okay.
I don't listen to her for it to even pop up. Has she worked with Beyonce?
Yes.
Oh. Was not expecting you to say yes to that.
Yeah.
It's not Nicki Minaj, is it?
No, because we already said she was white.
Okay, you're right. And she's not a very good actress. You don't even know she's been in movies.
Just go down the list of white singer actresses that Beyonce has worked with.
Literally, I'm kind of like, Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was once considered for the role of Ballerina.
Interesting.
Which I don't know. I would need to see her in action sequences. This movie doesn't have a lot of like room for acting.
No, it's not about acting. It's not
like the acting couldn't have qualified.
The acting wasn't bad in this movie. It just that's not what we were there for.
I feel like she could have worked. I feel like anybody in this movie could have worked who could have pulled off the action sequences.
Agree. Now this we'll get to that in our review, but I agree. I agree with you on that statement.
Probably I mean, it would have been just as popular, maybe more popular.
The movie?
The film would have been more popular or would have gained more attention.
Yeah, I agree. Probably.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that box office too.
But she was once considered, they also had considered Chloe Grace Moretz as well. You don't know who she is because you probably haven't seen anything she's in, but she's done like a bunch of young adult stuff.
Movies. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz was the one who had that Twitter beef with Kim Kardashian at one time.
Nope.
She's just some random like young adult actress. She's been in a couple things.
Okay.
I honestly can't think of anything good she's
I'll
been
say
in.
The name does not ring even the slightest
Let's
of bells.
see. Chloe Grace Moretz films. Chloe Grace Moretz was in, I mean, she's been in a lot of stuff, but Kick-Ass.
Oh.
She was the girl in the purple wig.
Okay. Good for her.
Also,
I
she
barely
was
remember that movie.
I mean, she's been in a lot of
really?
stuff.
Okay.
She was one of the kids in Big Mama's House 2.
Oh, I didn't
when
see
he was
too.
protecting the family.
Okay.
Oh,
she was one of the white kids.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's done a lot of like voice work stuff. But,
interesting.
yeah.
I couldn't pick her up in a lineup, but
I don't think you would be able to. She was also in Carrie. She was Carrie in the Carrie remake, and you saw Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
she was the daughter that was also the werewolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know of Dark Shadows, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Good for her. But no for this. No, I'm gonna give her a no for this.
Yeah, I mean they made the right choice.
They did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean they should have picked Anya Taylor-Joy. But anywho, this is different. We're not in a review section yet.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Ana de Armas is goodness, so she's good. But I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy is written right all over this movie. Come on.
I don't know. I feel like, you know what? I don't think it's that. I don't.
Let's save it for the review.
I think Ana de Armas did a great job.
She did.
I don't think that this role was made specifically for anybody.
No, agree. Agree. That's what I mean. You could have slided anybody in here.
Yeah.
And certain actresses maybe would have added a little extra pop because they do extra things in other movies.
Yeah.
Like, she had the menu and all that, so I could see her in this.
Yeah.
In the gorge.
Yeah. Maybe she was burned by Furiosa. She was like, no more blockbusters.
I'm going to bring up Furiosa when we talk about the movie as well.
Okay, so that is all the trivia we have this week. Let's get into the rest of the episode. Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, we have a new movie coming out from somebody whose movie I just watched on Amazon Prime this week, so we'll talk about that. We have several cars in Trailer Park, so it's a little full, a little crowded, and then Buncha Crunch is also packed. Okay. High calories. Starting up at the top, we have a new movie coming from Viola Davis. Going to be, she is starring and producing in a conspiracy thriller called Allie Clark. Now, I just watched Viola Davis in G20, which was pretty good.
Okay.
The movie was not like groundbreaking. Anthony Starr was just there.
Okay.
But everybody else in the movie, pretty good. Viola Davis does good action star. Now, I don't know if this is an action star movie, but I will take her in a conspiracy thriller if I can get it.
Okay.
So, this is going to be directed by Philip Noyce. Did I say that right? Noyce?
I think it's Noyce.
Philip Noyce, who is the director of Clear and Present Danger. You ever seen it?
Yes.
It's old.
Yeah, all of them are old.
Clear and Present Danger, The Bone Collector, and Salt.
So he likes Angelina Jolie.
Oh, okay. Took me a second. Yes, but he's good for mystery conspiracy thrillers. Like
Bone Collector is really good.
Right up his alley. So this movie is about a investigator, Allie Clark, who's played by Viola Davis, obviously. She embarks on a perilous inquiry into an international conglomerate following suspicious death of a close friend. The case will take her from the marble halls of D.C. to the sweltering bayous of Louisiana and the icy peaks of Alaska. I did not write that description. That is from a Hollywood Reporter.
So globetrotting.
It's globetrotting. Okay. It's given budget, perhaps.
Okay.
But
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I feel like Salt was cheap.
Yeah, but it's Viola Davis. She needs to be paid.
Okay.
I want her to get paid.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is going to streaming or if it's going to theaters. Hopefully theaters. But I sound like something I would watch.
Yeah, there's no telling these days whether there's something to go to streaming or theaters because
no
every director has done a streaming movie now and every actor has done a streaming movie now. So.
There's no line of demarcation anymore.
Yeah.
Literally everybody will do anything.
Filmography, Viola Davis is a great actress, so that's clear enough. The filmography of Philip Noyce is pretty good.
Yes.
I really enjoyed The Bone Collector. I remember seeing that in the drive-in. And
The Bone Collector's a good one.
And being a kid and being devastated when Queen Latifah was killed because that was my first time ever seeing a movie where Queen Latifah died. I mean, the movie's like 5,000 years old.
It is pretty old. It's pretty good. And also, if you don't know Bone Collector, it stars freaking Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
So you need to watch it if you haven't seen it.
And I'll never forget how surprised I was by Salt. Salt was a really good, interesting
I think
thriller.
Clear and Present Danger is like, I don't know if it's classic, but it is one of those movies that's kind of like, movies. It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's cinema kind of movie. So yeah, I'm all for Viola Davis doing different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've had action star in G20, we had villain in Hunger Games, and now we getting crazy journalists. Well, maybe she's not crazy. We getting a traveling journalist in this movie. So yeah, I like it. Oh, and she was also in The Woman King. So I like that she's not pigeonholing herself to nothing. So that's actually it. Okay, so there's one thing I was going to put on here, but I didn't because I feel like we talked about it, but it wasn't big enough. The Mass Effect TV show going to Amazon now has a director, but that's all they said. Yeah. It was nothing like, and it's coming out. And I was like, oh, we don't even know it's coming out yet. Yeah. You haven't even started. But yeah, that Jay has played that game several times.
I'll be replaying it this week.
Okay, so
when I read that it was announced that they were doing a movie.
Yes, it's a movie.
I was officially launching my replay.
Now I wonder if the movie, the movie that's coming out is going to be based on a game, or they're going to make up something.
The game is basically a series of movies. So the Mass Effect trilogy is a trilogy where you play a space commander.
Right.
And across the 3 games, you acquire crew members.
Okay.
Part of your party, and you go around the galaxy solving.
You're like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Kinda, yeah. You have missions around the galaxy. There's a story that wraps around it, but the interesting part about it is it's an ever-changing narrative between each of the 3 games. So every choice that you make, dialogue choice and action choice that you make games. In game 1 affects game 2, and then they're in game 3.
Right.
You don't always have to recruit the party members, and sometimes your party members may die based on your choices. And if your party member dies in game 1, then they won't appear in game 2 and 3, and that'll affect the story. But if they don't, they survive game 1, then
they get a whole new storyline.
Yeah, they'll show up in game 2.
Okay.
And it'll change the way the story works because this person is now
is now in your game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And game 3. So, and it works. Yeah, that's how it works.
So this is an instance of a video game actually having a plot.
Yeah, and it's so tight that you have to, basically when you complete game 1, you have to, and you start game 2, you have to migrate your save. Game 2 has to read your save data from the first game.
That's cool. I didn't
so
know
it
that.
knows how to do your story going forward. So each
time you play, you do something different?
Oh, yeah, that's the fun of playing Mass Effect. You change your character, you change your gender, you change your career path, and it affects your story. It affects how how NPCs interact with you. Maybe they don't like you because you're a human.
Did something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't pick it up, this is a space-based situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got not humans in this.
Sometimes the dialogue, I just recently replay the first couple chapters of Mass Effect 1 with the female character. Okay. And sometimes the dialogue I've noticed in this first playthrough is a little misogynist because sometimes the NPCs are jerks. They're mean, and sometimes they only respond
it's given alien
or talk nice to you if you're a man or something.
Interesting.
So it's very good. It's very immersive. It's fun. It's one of my favorite games.
Since we on the topic, I pulled up the story.
Okay.
So this TV show, it's a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be coming from Amazon Prime, so you can watch it on Amazon Prime because I appreciate that Amazon at least does video game stuff right.
Yeah, if they've done Fallout extremely well, then they can absolutely
This has potential. So they hired a showrunner. That was the news that came out. His name is Doug Jung, and he is it says chief of war. I don't know if that's a video game or if that's a TV show. And that is where he is from. Oh, Chief of War.
Oh, it just came out. That is the Jason Momoa Apple series that's coming to Apple TV. That's probably why nobody knows about it because it's on Apple. They
Apple still has not improved their promotion. So yeah, this is the TV show is going to be based on a video game. They haven't given us a release date or anything like that, but it sounds good. They do games. Amazon does games well.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the plot of Mass Effect. So the plot of Mass Effect is that there is an alien race coming from the dark corners of space.
Of course.
Called the Collectors. And what they do is every couple thousand years, they come and they will collect every species and every resource from the galaxy.
Okay.
And then wait for evolution to basically restart and humans to reemerge all over again, or whatever the species are that are all over the planets to reemerge again, and they come back and do it again. So basically they hide out in dark space. They show up every 1,000 years to wipe out all existence of all life.
You said to take, you mean wipe out.
Yeah. I mean, they call themselves collectors because what they do is they wait for the universe to build up resources
and then
stuff,
snatch it.
and then they come kill everybody and snatch it.
Oh.
And Mass Effect picks up where it's the beginning of another cycle. Okay. And the main character is just discovering that this is a thing that happens and is trying to stop it, but everybody else thinks that he's crazy because it only happens every 1,000 years and nobody's ever alive to remember the last time it happens.
It's giving the Matrix a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
okay. Really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. I'm looking forward to this. As we learn more about it, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the movie news for this week. Let's roll into the trailer park.
Toot toot. Beep beep.
Okay, first trailer in the trailer park is for Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. This is just a teaser. This is another outing by Benoit Blanc, who's played by Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Doing another murder investigation. It looks like this one is taking place in a church.
Yeah, I thought the way he looks, it was like based in the past, but it's not.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's present day. He just looks out of place.
Yeah, I just thought he let his hair grow out.
He looked a little rough.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what he's been doing in between movies. But anywho.
So, this trailer teaser doesn't really give us anything.
No.
All we know is that there's going to be another murder mystery. And that's fine because it shouldn't. So
exactly. We don't need too much. I did forget some people were in this, though, because we do get a couple clip. We get, like, what, a half-second clip of the cast. I forgot. Let's see. Just to run it off. Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, Daryl McCormick, and Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
I forgot Jeremy Renner was in this, and I was like,
I forgot Kerry Washington was in it.
I remember Kerry Washington, but I definitely forgot Jeremy Renner. I was like, oh, yeah, he is it. And I think I forgot about Glenn Close as well.
And I forgot about Mila Kunis.
So we forgot half the cast.
Yeah.
So when they showed us them briefly in the trailer, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot all y'all was in here.
Yeah. It looks good. We don't know a single thing about it, but we do know it is going to Netflix.
And they ain't said anything about a theatrical release.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do like a 1 week thing again.
They did. We saw the second Knives Out in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see y'all.
All right. Next stop on the trailer park is for Megan 2.0. This is the second trailer. It should be the final.
I should have took this out of the agenda because I stopped watching this halfway through.
Oh, you didn't watch it all the way through?
Because it's giving too much away.
It's the exact same scenes from the first trailer,
but
each scene is extended.
Yes.
So it just gives you more of each scene that it already showed you. It just shows you the scene of them unboxing her, them putting her back in her bottle,
getting dressed,
her and Michelle Williams' character arguing.
Yeah.
It looks like Michelle Williams is also going to be part of. There's a scene where it looks like Michelle Williams is also.
Michelle Williams.
Not Michelle Williams.
I know what you mean.
Michelle. What's her name? Allison Williams.
There you go.
Not Michelle Williams.
Cousins. I don't think they.
Allison Williams. It looks like Allison Williams is also gonna be like, in the scene where Megan's in the robot suit or whatever arcade
with the bob.
It looks like Allison Williams will also be in a get up assisting as well.
Okay, I must have stopped before that
in one of those sequences. So yeah, it's just more extended.
The movie's only gonna be like an hour and 45 minutes, so I feel like this 2-minute trailer, I was like, it's too much. It comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm at my point of where I'm stopped watching trailers for things coming out this month and next month.
Yeah, and it should be the final one. Like they shouldn't release another one.
We are done.
Yeah.
Just let us watch the movie in the theaters.
And this one's like 2.5 minutes.
It is pretty long. This comes out the same weekend as F1, and current box office tracking has them going naked. Like, it's going to be close.
I don't think it's going to end up close.
You don't think so?
No.
Which one you think is winning?
The shorter movie. The shorter, more entertaining movie.
So, make it?
Yes.
Okay. You said it, but you ain't say. Yeah. So right now they're neck and neck. So we'll see. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah. We're watching Megan, if you were curious.
Next stop on the trailer park is The Man in My Basement. This is releasing later this year. There's no release date. This is going to be a psychological thriller starring Corey Hawkins, who we saw in Color Purple.
Yep.
Willem Dafoe, who we just saw in Nosferatu. Mm-hmm. Anna Diop, who we saw in the Book of Clarence. And we are hoping to see her as Storm. But
Kevin, don't play.
Yeah.
We also saw Corey Hawkins in my favorite Godzilla movie. I mean, that's not recent, but it's one of my favorites. With Samuel Jackson. King Kong.
He was in Skull Island.
There it is.
Right, yeah.
I said it's my favorite. I can't
even
think of the name.
So long.
I like that.
So what is this about? It's based on a novel by the same name. It's written by Walter Mosley, who wrote Devil in a Blue Dress as well. So the plot is about Charles Blakely, an African-American man living in Sag Harbor with his wife, who's stuck in a rut, out of luck, and about to lose his ancestral home when a peculiar white businessman with a European accent offers to rent his basement for the summer.
Now, I'm assuming that the fact that they are specifying the character's race plays a part of this.
I didn't know that, but that makes one of the scenes in the trailer much more clear and interesting now.
Which one is that?
Where they're going through his packages, and he has like African mask in his boxes.
Okay. Yeah, so the trailer doesn't make it seem like the race of the characters makes sense, but then the description does, so there's obviously something nefarious.
I noticed the African mask. Because as a black person, I've grown up seeing a lot of African masks
You're right.
and decorative pieces in people's homes.
You're right.
And I was like, this is an interesting piece of decoration for a white person to have.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe is definitely giving creepy.
It is.
This is not a feel good movie. I don't think
No.
it's giving like people under the stairs or something.
It's giving Heretic, but the twist is going to be something racial. It's going to be a racial psychological twist.
It doesn't seem like a horror movie.
No.
I guess we should say that.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty good. Hopefully this goes to, the trailer says in theaters and Hulu. I'm hoping it's like on Hulu after the fact.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, these three actors are actors, so they should be like in
And their
the
films typically go to theaters.
should be in the theaters. So I mean, it's Willem Dafoe.
Why
we playing games?
was also in Us. So she played Lupita Nyong'o's mother.
Oh, did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll check this out.
Yeah.
I will, just a little asterisk on this. This role was actually supposed to be for Jonathan Majors, and he jacked it up. So, oh well. Yeah.
Well,
too bad.
Yeah.
So sad.
we choose that we are on the path that we choose.
Next trailer.
Next trailer is for Alien Earth. This is finally a release date came with this one because it's just been saying summer for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So now we know, August 12th.
2 years.
It's going to release on Hulu. It is going to be a series based in the world of Alien. You don't have the synopsis here, but basically what it's about is...
Oh, there is a synopsis?
It takes place after the first Alien.
Okay.
Year 2120.
Okay.
And there is a ship that was sent off by Weyland-Yutani.
Yes, I got that.
To dark corners of the universe. I'm assuming it's at least 5.
Yeah, it says I don't know if the trailer says every or just dark corners,
Yeah,
but
so this ship traveled to 5 different dark corners of the universe and picked up 5 of the most dangerous invasive alien species that they've ever discovered. Hijinks ensued on the ship that we probably won't see because it takes place before the series starts.
Right.
And the ship crash lands on Earth in Earth City. And basically, Weyland-Yutani and a bunch of other organizations are racing to acquire the aliens on the crash ship before anybody else does.
and the team seems like it's a group of synthetics.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this is we know at least one of them is a synthetic.
For sure,
but
100%.
More, at least one or more, because the main actress says we are stronger and
Yes.
faster.
As
So-
if it's a gang of non-humans going on this mission versus humans.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they would let them just do that.
So it looks like Weyland-Yutani has developed a way to implant human brains into the synthetics,
Yes.
synthetic bodies.
We don't know why.
And
they
they're
did
going
that.
to be sending their team of indestructible synthetics to go acquire these aliens on their behalf.
Now, is Timothy Olyphant, he was given, I don't know yet still.
He could be, because usually one synthetic is like
The old one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They always one of the older cast
Older
members
model.
in every Alien
Okay.
movie is supposed to be a synthetic.
Okay.
So he could be, or he could just be like a scientist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell like who's a synthetic unless they specify it in the trailer.
Yeah, he's definitely giving like villain, even though it looks like the whole show is going to be full of just bad people. Like every organization is going to be bad.
Yes.
I don't know if our synthetic characters are particularly going to be bad.
So one of them is going to be out to do bad.
Yes.
For sure. Two. Maybe two.
But what's most interesting about this is the xenomorph is maybe not the star
No.
of the
Did
movie.
we even get a xenomorph in the trailer?
We get
a bunch of other
glimpse
nasty stuff.
I think we get a glimpse of like the xenomorph skull,
Okay.
like head, like its little black wet killer whale looking head.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of other nasty looking creature
Nasty,
aliens. We
y'all.
have
Gross.
It reminded me of Scavenger's Reign a little bit. Like we were like, oh, we could use a live action Scavenger's Reign, and then I saw the monsters. Like,
it's given like everybody gonna die.
Yeah,
very nastily.
So that's what's interesting. It looks like the Xenomorph is just one of 5 of the dangerous, deadly, invasive.
So I wonder if it's the only one
that
that's
picked up.
Survived.
I'm not sure because what we see in the trailers, it looks like it is a face hugger as well. So we're not even sure if there's multiple face huggers or if it's just one single Xenomorph. We're not sure what crashed the ship. Yeah. We kind of got a teaser and it looks like it was a Xenomorph attacking somebody.
Yes, and then they released on FX's website another mini trailer that didn't show the same. It showed a little extra, and I was kind of like, okay, I think I'm about to stop watching stuff because y'all give me too much. It just looks real. Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah. So I'm also interested to see how the other aliens interact with each other.
Oh yeah. Do they?
Because they're also. I mean, the Xenomorph is a predator. It's like a main predator.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
I'm excited about this. Alien is my favorite sci-fi franchise of all time. I love it.
We are back in our Alien Predator renaissance.
And Terminator. Waiting for that Terminator season 2.
It's not coming. I don't think nobody watched it. I liked it, though.
It sucked.
I like Terminator 0.
I mean, not the show sucked. It sucked that nobody watched it, but it was really good.
Literally came and went. But we have Alien Earth coming out. We'll get to another piece of alien news in a Buncha Crunch. The Predators, Killers of Killers movie, show, or whatever came out this weekend. People are loving that. We get Badlands later. And then apparently Badlands is going to lead to something else.
Yeah.
And people are speculating it might be an Alien versus Predator movie, which, I mean, would fit because...
At this point now,
they're all doing things.
Yeah, might as well do it. Don't wait until it's like 5 years later and be like, now we want to do Alien versus... No, when nobody else is paying attention to it.
We've moved on to something else.
People are excited about the franchises now.
Yes.
Let's do it now.
And what's coming out of the franchises are good.
Yeah.
And they're not... So, Alien Earth is technically not connected to Alien Romulus, for that we know of. Right. And then Predators, Killers of Killers is not connected to Prey or Predator Badlands, that we know of.
Something alien related is related to Badlands.
Correct.
Only because of Elle Fanning
being a synthetic.
So that's it. That's all we got to hold on to right now. So I'm interested to see it. The giveaway will be, now I'm starting to pay attention to the time periods. Oh, now when it says year 2120, and because every year, every alien movie says what year it is. So now I'm starting to pay attention, like what year is this? When does this take place?
Right, because you need to know this is in the middle, before, or after.
Because if they're going to lead up to something, it's going to be very clearly listed out in the time periods.
Right. So this is good. We are hoping that there is an offsite SDCC for this.
Yeah. Okay, last stop on the trailer park is Wicked for Good. This comes out November 21st. This is part 2 of Wicked. And what does the trailer show us? The trailer shows us Wicked part 2.
I'm about to say stiff.
And new songs.
New songs that I guess we have not seen to play. But I guess this second part is not as like fun and exciting and like warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, this is second part is where it's supposed to get real.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, we watched the first one, so I feel like we got to complete the second one. But the trailer just had me kind of like, oh, this doesn't seem as fun.
That's okay. It might still be entertaining. Not all of Chicago is fun.
Okay, fair enough.
I enjoy all of Chicago.
Yeah, so. This is supposed to be the people said they're gonna be crying. Oh, they was crying in the first one. Sad crying, I guess, in this one to lead up to whatever the ending is.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be crying because I'm not that invested.
I did cry in the first one.
I really did enjoy the first one for somebody who does not care for musicals. And could exist in a world with no musicals. I enjoyed the first one.
It was pretty good.
They did a good job.
It was pretty good. This will probably be this is looks like a Thanksgiving release. So we'll be hearing a lot about how it's tracking and doing all that jazz, and it's gonna be a ton of promotion. So y'all better if you didn't like Wicked, then you better enjoy this period of quiet now, because it's about to turn up.
It's gonna be all Wicked
come fall.
Yeah,
it's done. We're done.
So excited to see all of these things, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. That is the last stop on the trailer park. Let's dive into this Buncha Crunch.
So first bit of crunch. This is a little bit of crunch, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. Blumhouse, the horror house that makes all the horror movies, has acquired the rights to Saw. So this is interesting because remember there was supposed to be a Saw movie coming out, and then they were like, actually, it's not. Yeah. And then Blumhouse was like, well, how about we take the rights from you and make our own movie? So I guess this is good.
I guess
maybe Blumhouse is kind of hit or miss.
So is Saw.
Okay, so a match made in heaven.
This would be Saw 11, I guess, and there's maybe 3 good Saws.
Okay. Wow, that's batting average kind of low.
Yeah, that's bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Saws did a really bad job with writing too much.
Okay.
Saws included too much story. That was the issue with Saw.
Kind of like opposite of John Wick.
They should
like
have reduced
action,
it and just kept it gore.
Okay.
But too much writing.
Now, y'all, if you are a faithful listener, you don't do Saws.
No, because it's not even horror. It's just torture.
And I hate
torture and poorly written mysteries.
Nope, I'm not doing both of those together.
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not. So another interesting thing about this, so James Wan is the creator of Saw, and I guess when the rights got moved to whoever owned them before, he wasn't as involved. Like, he was always executive producer. So now people are speculating or wonder if he's going to direct the next one, because now that, you know, he works with Blumhouse a lot. So they are wondering if he's going to, like, do the next Saw movie.
He should. I mean, the last Saw movie was good. So it ended on a high note. I hope that this is back into present day and they stop that. See, and that was the issue. The last Saw movie was good, but it was another prequel, which means that they had to do more writing, and something Saw isn't connect. Right. And something Saw movies aren't really great at is the writing. But they wanted to do another prequel. It worked. So hopefully they'll knock it out the park on this next one.
Y'all go see. So. Something else, one last thing I'll mention is that Lionsgate, unfortunately, still owns half. So Blumhouse will have to distribute the movies through Lionsgate, which is not great. And I'll get to why that is in our review for John Wick. I mean, Ballerina. Okay. So, Lady John Wick. Next up, we have speaking of Blumhouse, they announced that Ma is getting a sequel called Ma 2. That is a horror movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's a daytime horror movie.
Okay. So, because I never watched it because I thought it was super scary, but it's not.
No.
Okay.
Octavia Spencer just plays this crazy mom with attachment issues who really, basically, she was bullied when she was a teenager in high school, and she's getting her revenge by terrorizing and manipulating the children of her high school classmates.
Oh, that sounds actually
so she
cool.
befriends them like she's a cool mom. But then she also hasn't actually grown up mentally, and she's still trying to be one of the cool kids as an adult. Okay. And she's becoming clingy and creepy.
So she clearly does not die.
It seemed like she died in the first one.
Okay, but now we know she did.
She also didn't have to die because basically the last shot you see, basically they like knock her out.
Okay.
And set the house on fire, and you just don't see her come
the
out
body.
the house. She has a daughter who she was like torturing. Oh. She was doing the thing where, what's that movie where the mom like convinced her daughter? She kept giving her daughter, no, not Signs. I See Dead People.
Sixth Sense.
Oh,
okay. I know what you're talking about.
The daughter wasn't actually sick. The mom was making her sick and making her think she was sick, so the daughter wouldn't go anywhere. Yeah. That's what she was doing to her own daughter. The movie ends where the final girl saves her daughter, knocks Ma out. They set the house on fire, and they leave Ma in there, but you don't see Ma get burned up.
Okay, so you didn't see a body, so she didn't die.
Yeah.
Okay. People were excited about this. I actually might watch the first one now that I know it's not scary.
Yeah, no, it's not scary.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I like to see, I try to support black horror when it ain't gonna creep me out too bad. So this is one I might pick it.
Yeah, it was good.
Add to my watch list. Next up, speaking of horror and final girls, Mia Goth this is not a horror movie. She is joining the Star Wars Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling. She is going to be playing one of the villains that's chasing Ryan Gosling around.
Cool.
I guess I should mention, this role was supposed to go to, or was offered to, Mikey Madison of Honora. Oscar winning Mikey Madison of Honora. But she turned it down because they weren't trying to pay her whatever she wanted. So Mia Goth was like, I'm free because Blade is not getting filmed.
Right.
So this will be interesting. Every time I see Mia Goth, I think of...
Why don't you like me?
Listen, Pearl, X, Maxine. So it's just funny, the concept of her being in a kid... Star Wars is kid-friendly. Yeah, to be in a kid-friendly movie, family-friendly movie is just her freaking hilarious. But good for her.
She's also got the Frankenstein movie coming out.
She does with not Pedro Pascal's friend. Oscar Isaac.
Yes.
Was like, not Pedro Pascal, the other guy. Yeah, so she was in, she did Tadum, Netflix's thing for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for her.
Yeah, that makes sense. She was going to be the villain in Blade. They are clearly not filming Blade. They don't know what they're doing with Blade.
Every time somebody from that cast does something else, I'm like, just now that Delroy Lindo
freer and freer.
Well, or they sign on for other projects. Like Delroy Lindo's about to be in Godzilla. You're like, so y'all not filming?
And if Mahershala Ali lives in this Jurassic World movie, he's going to be in the next two because they're going to make it a trilogy. So he's also going to be in a different franchise.
So he's not ever coming. But good for Mia.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Mia. I don't know anything. We don't know much about this movie other than Ryan Gosling is going to have a role, kind of like, it seems like he's like a Han Solo of sorts, but he'll have a kid with him, and they will be running away they're getting chased across the galaxy.
And it takes place after all the movies.
Correct. It is a standalone film. It is not connected to any other Star Wars movies, which is a smart choice because at this point, we kind of need to start from scratch with the movies. That's true. And then we'll have Mando and Grogu, which is not technically attached to all the movies either. Yeah. So next up we have Samuel Jackson, another fave, is getting his own spinoff show. He going to TV, y'all. Like series TV, not just like popping up, not like Secret Invasion. Ugh. He is going to be getting a Tulsa King spinoff on Paramount Plus called NOLA King. So New Orleans, if you didn't catch my accent that I don't have. They said that his character is going to show up, I guess, in Tulsa King for a few episodes so people know who he is. Okay. And then when his show shows up, people will be like, oh, I want to watch Samuel Jackson and NOLA King. So I don't watch Tulsa King because I don't got Paramount Plus. Yeah. But it's good. They actually had Tulsa. I would watch
it if I did, but
probably not. They had a Tulsa King. We went to Comic-Con last year in the Paramount Plus Lodge.
Fun offsite,
and the drinks was pretty tasty. Yeah. One of them was kind of like, it's nasty, but they were free. So
yeah. They had a fun offsite at Comic-Con.
They were part of the Paramount Plus Lodge offsite, so that was kind of cool. They obviously want people to watch this show, and good for Samuel Jackson. He's a fave. He recently came out and said that he does movies that he would like to watch. He said he does popcorn movies. I do movies that I like to watch. I'm not trying to chase no Oscar. I was like, that's why you a fave. Yeah. Legend.
It will be written by the Mayor of Kingston writer Dave Erickson. And Mayor of Kingston stars Jeremy Renner.
Which is also well liked.
And another Avengers parallel. So the world is getting smaller and smaller.
It is. They should just do a crossover.
They should.
NOLA King and Mayor of Kingston.
Next stop on the Buncha Crunch list, because we are not in the trailer park anymore.
You tried it.
Sidebar.
Yes.
Did you see the Black Phone trailer?
The real trailer?
The Black Phone 2 trailer?
There's like a real trailer?
It's like a 1 and 30-second long trailer. Like an actual trailer that has like story.
Okay, no, I saw the one that you showed me that was no story.
Oh, they put out a full story.
I missed it. I would have put it on the list.
Oh, well, sidebar. So basically,
we're going back to the park, y'all.
It's about the first Black Phone was about a little boy who got kidnapped. His daughter, not his daughter, a little boy got kidnapped. His little sister had the shine. Yes. And she like helped the police investigators by using her shine powers. Right. And he killed Ethan Hawke at the end. Correct. And got away, and everybody lived happily ever after.
So we thought.
So this one is about the girl is getting shine visions again of Ethan Hawke from beyond the grave murdering kids at a camp.
So how is we're not establishing how he's doing this?
He's doing it the same way that the dead kid spirits could come back and help the little boy escape. He's found a way to do it, but he's using it to actually enter the physical world and kill children. So basically he's Freddy. So he's Freddy Krueger.
It is given.
And he does it he contacts them through the telephone. And basically the little girl who's a little bit older and Mason Thames, who's back. Okay. Reprising his role. They're both boy. Back. Okay. So him and his little sister are going out to the camp to try to stop him and save the kids. But I don't know how they're going to do it because he's dead.
I don't like kids getting killed.
So I
don't know how this is gonna go over.
The movie looks. It's essentially exactly Freddy Krueger.
But Freddy Krueger was targeting like
kids.
But weren't they like teenagers?
Freddy Krueger was specifically targeting the kids of the parents who burned him alive, but they were teenagers.
Okay,
These are definitely younger kids. I mean, the Black Phone, he was kidnapping younger, like we're talking freshmen, high school teenagers.
I mean, they look younger than that.
So yeah, these are like
middle schoolers.
These are like 12, 13, 11-year-olds. The trailer does look very Freddy Krueger because it's just a lot of scenes of like you'd never really see Freddy in the real world. Right. It's just you see
in people's dreams.
Be invisibly chopped up.
Right.
So that's kind of what the trailer shows.
Oof.
These kids are getting attacked by unseen force.
I don't know about this.
It definitely looks very bloody and very gory.
I'm curious that they took that angle. Like,
yeah, the first one I wouldn't consider scary.
Because we didn't see him take them kids. We didn't see him harm the kids, right? In the first one?
No.
Right.
We never saw him harm the kids.
It's just implied and you know what happened.
You just know that they all died eventually.
Right.
But we never see him actually harm any children other than the action of kidnapping them.
Right.
That's harm. Right. But yeah, he's actively like murdering children.
I don't know how this going to go.
There's a creepy scene where it's just like they're in the forest. It's in the winter.
Okay.
I mean, there's a creepy scene where it's just a frozen over lake with snow blowing over it, and you hear ice skates, and slowly you see Ethan Hawke skating across.
How's he skating?
I don't know, because he's found a way to enter the physical world.
Oh, skates.
So it's weird.
Now that you described this to
one
me,
definitely looks scary. Like scary.
Scary and killing kids?
Like scary and slashing.
This is
so. Yeah.
YouTube might be like, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
Distract this episode. Y'all just said this 5 times.
But back off of our sidebar, our next scoop of crunch is Alien Romulus, another horror movie.
Hey.
We'll be getting a sequel, which we already said.
Ooh.
And it will begin filming this fall. It has been confirmed by director Fede Alvarez.
He was on a podcast yakking and said this. So I don't think we knew that they were starting up this soon.
No, we didn't know they were going to start soon.
And they said that Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson are supposed to come back. That's literally how the second. Right. We're like, who are these new people?
Right.
We just got a set of new people in the first one. So this is exciting. That's why everybody think that the Predator alien thing popping off, because it's just a lot of alien Predator things happening at the same time.
It depends on what happens. So the last thing we know when we left off with Alien Romulus is they were on their way to a Weyland-Yutani free planet.
Right, but this free planet they were going to did not like synthetics.
Right. So we don't know how they're gonna deal with that.
Right.
But we also,
or even if that's where they end up.
But I'm gonna assume either something terrible is already there or something terrible is coming there, because the way we ended the movie is, well, you know what they love to do in alien movies?
Sidetrack them to somewhere else.
In the sequel, sometimes they did this in Alien 3. What they love to do to give a reason for a sequel is to be like, oh, well, the movie ended and they got rid of the alien and everything. And then the next movie will start and be like, well, they didn't know that there was somebody put a face hugger egg in their locker.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning of the movie that was unseen, and it broke out between movies. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Something's going to happen.
Something is going to happen. Maybe the company chases them, because we know they left with the black goo, and the company really wants that black goo. So maybe the company follows them to the new planet.
Okay. So they're getting chased, or where they land is already done for.
Yeah.
Already done for.
Yikes.
But yeah, the way it ended was it could have ended, but then it was also like, okay, we could get a sequel.
Yeah.
So
I would be interested in that.
Of course.
Yeah.
The first one was great.
Last Scoop of Crunch, One of Them Days, yay, is also getting a sequel with Keke Palmer and SZA returning.
We have ideas, guys.
Yeah.
So if by a certain happenstance, people working on this movie, contact me and Jay, because we got ideas.
Go listen to our One of Them Days review towards the end.
We had
all of our sequel ideas. We think it'll work.
If you have not heard, go back to One of Them Days yourself, the episode, and listen to what we said, because we're not gonna rehash it here.
We're not.
Because you got to go back and listen. So
but excited. That I feel like that was clear. It. So it was clear needed a sequel.
People are always like, I don't want a sequel. I don't. Shh. You don't go to the movies anyway. Yeah. We're not talking about you.
So
give us the sequel.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So that's all the movie news, Buncha Crunch, and Trailer Park for this week. We're gonna take a short break and get into our review for Ballerina.
This really looks like a do-rag on my head right now. It's so funny. This week we watched Ballerina, aka World of John Wick. I just made it up. That's not what they really call it. It was released June 6, 2025. The director is Les Wiseman. If you're not familiar with Les, he is the director of the first 2 Underworld movies.
Okay.
He also directed Live Free or Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard. That was not the good one.
And the 2012 Total Recall remake.
With Colin Farrell.
Yes.
And Kate Beckinsale. So he likes Kate Beckinsale.
Yes, there's obviously a connection.
So he directed it. That's interesting.
So the cast and characters of this here movie include. What's funny is this movie's actual title is called From the World of John Wick, Ballerina. Did you know that?
Yes.
I don't know why you would do that though. It's like they wanted to so hard sell that it's John Wick related. They were like, we got to put it in the title somehow.
I don't know why.
Little overkill. But anywho, Ana de Armas, who has never appeared in any John Wick, is the lead of this movie. She plays Eve McCarroll. We have Angelica Houston, who is back as the director. So she has been, I think she's in all the John Wick movies, but she is the leader of the Roscaroma. So she's the one who trains the assassins, or at least has the theater where the assassins trained. We have Gabriel Byrne, who is the Chancellor. I'm just going to leave it at that. We have Lance Reddick. This is his last on-film role. Yes, his last on-film. Period. Yep, this was the last one. And he plays Sharon. Charon? How do you say his name? How do you say his character's name? Charon. I always call him Lance Reddick. Yeah. I literally have never said his character's name. Lance Reddick is in this. This is his last role. Rest in peace. Norman Reedus plays a character called Daniel Pine. And then we have... Now, you know what? I don't ever say the characters and the actors in this part. And that's why I'm like, why is it taking me so long? We have Ian McShane, who was back as Winston Scott. And then Keanu Reeves, if you did not know, was in this. And he plays, guess what?
Baba Yaga.
John Wick. He doesn't play anybody different. All right. And then, they didn't even have her listed in the main cast, but I'm going to say her anyway. Sharon Duncan Brewster plays Nogi, who is Eve's mentor, who I liked in this movie.
Okay.
She is the only black woman in this. So shout out to her because I liked her. The runtime, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Not too long. Not too short. Felt pretty appropriate. Yeah. Budget is apparently $80 to $90 million, according to whichever source you decide to read.
Okay.
Opening day for box office is $10.7 million. It's including previews. So I don't know if I've ever said that, but whenever we do opening day box office, it includes the Thursday night showings as well. They just lump them all together. Okay. It is projected for the domestic weekend or domestic box office for the weekend to do 25 to 27 million. That is actually a slightly lower than what they initially thought it was going to be, which was 30. It's going to open number 2 behind, guess what?
Lilo and Stitch?
Yes. Lilo and Stitch is about to be number 1 for the 3rd weekend in a row. Yeah. And what is kind of about this is the opening is similar to Furiosa. Now, if you know anything about Furiosa's box office, the opening weekend numbers are similar to Furiosa. And if you know anything about Furiosa's box office, it wasn't great.
Yeah. I don't mean, I didn't expect this movie to do well.
You didn't? You didn't think so? You didn't think the John Wick was going to take it there?
No.
Okay. Well.
Because it's a woman-led action film, I didn't expect this to do well at the theater.
Jay's expectations are right. It's probably not gonna do too stellar, which sucks because
it does. It sucks.
It once again, woman-led action movie, something we do not get very often. It is not gonna do super well at the box office
because people who don't go to the movies
don't go to the movies.
Yeah,
don't go to the movies. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we won't come back and report, but you can see where it lands. But right now, it's giving Furiosa, which unfortunately is not great. What's also similar,
but was a good movie.
I was gonna say what is also similar to Furiosa is its ratings. So it has a cinema score of an A-, which I mean is an A.
So people liked the movie.
People like. If you go watch a movie, y'all, you might discover.
But everybody said it wasn't going to be good because she was a lady.
You might like it.
It's weird.
Shocker. In comparison to other John Wick movies, that is the same score as John Wick 2 and 3. It is above the original John Wick, which only got a B.
It's not hard to do.
Which is weird. We just wasn't ready. Is that what it was? We weren't ready for John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick really didn't hook into people into that second one. I feel like a lot of people didn't go see that first movie.
I don't think I saw the first one till the second one actually.
Yep, I don't think people went to go see that first one.
Yeah, so it did. John Wick, original John Wick got a B, and then it is slightly under the John Wick 4, which got an A. So it goes John Wick 4, John Wick 2 and 3, Ballerina, and then John Wick.
John Wick 4 was a good wrap up.
Did they wrap it up though?
No, but I mean, it was a good wrap up.
Thank you. I just wanted to highlight that out. Rotten Tomatoes wise, also pretty good. Critics gave it a 75. Audience scores a 93.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those of us who watched the movie like the movie. So maybe y'all should go watch it so it makes some money so we get more movies like this. Anywho, Jay, can you give us the plot?
The plot is Ana de Armas is on a revenge spree for people who killed her father when she was a little girl. She is Diego Montoya.
Yes. And then shenanigans. Do you call these shenanigans?
Hijinks.
Hijinks. There it is. Hijinks ensue. I don't know about shenanigans. So let's get into our non-spoiler thoughts first. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right. So this was a good John Wick spinoff. Like if I had to envision a John Wick spinoff movie that I would enjoy, this was it.
Sure had low expectations.
I did not.
She was at the bottom of the barrel.
It had nothing to do with Ana de Armas.
No.
And I think it was just, and I hate to say it, because everybody says it, but this didn't feel necessary. I was kind of like, a John Wick spinoff out for a character that has not been in any of these movies. Mm-hmm. Now, as we have said on this podcast plenty of times, if you wanted to give a spinoff to anybody, it should have been who?
Oh, Halle Berry.
Thank you. I was saying you're thinking too long.
Sorry.
It should have been Halle Berry. So, and actually, the fact that this probably isn't doing good means we're probably never seeing a Halle Berry.
I am going to say that they made it a John Wick movie. This could have just been a regular woman-led action flick, but they made it a John Wick movie because I think that was one of the only ways people were going to go see it.
They thought, and I guess the interesting thing we're finding out is John Wick, like people want to see John Wick. Yeah. People don't want it. And remember, we had the Continental TV show with Mel Gibson that came and went and nobody watched.
Yeah.
So John Wick stuff got to have John Wick in it. Yeah. That's what we're finding out. But if you're going to do a spinoff, this was well executed. Pacing was good. It said it was 2 hours. I was like, do we really need to be doing John Wick stuff for 2 whole hours? I think all of the other movies are 2 hours. That third one felt way too long. But anywho.
The whole third act is an hour.
Yeah, you leaned over and you was like, it's an hour left.
And
I was
she's
like,
just now getting to the third
thing.
act. Yeah.
Right. I was like, dang. But it actually moves. It moves pretty good.
It's relentless. The pacing is relentless.
Which is what you go to a John Wick movie for.
The girl doesn't I felt bad. It's like, does she have a moment to breathe?
Does
she have a moment to take a nap?
I don't think she used the bathroom. I don't think she ate. She might have changed clothes. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't think she slept. She definitely did not sleep. She
didn't change clothes for like a long part of the movie.
She definitely did not sleep at all. But the pacing of this was good. And Jay kind of mentioned this a little bit. The plot is thin. It's thin.
Yes.
We don't care. I don't care about the plot of this movie.
It's not chopped cheese, but it is thin.
It ain't chopped cheese because it's something you've seen before.
Yeah.
It is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You
make it the same way every time. It tastes the same way every time. Yeah. Like you said, it's a Colombiana. It's a, oh my gosh, you killed somebody that I loved. I need to come get you movie.
Right. Yeah.
You know how it ends.
Right.
Anywho, I do appreciate though that they did add a little twist. And they didn't overcomplicate the twist, and the twist is literally at the very end. But you're kind of like, oh, this is cute. This is
something.
This was cute. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't. I could have. Some people probably saw it coming. We did not. So I appreciate that. And then I would say the interweaving of John Wick, the character in this, was pretty cool.
Made sense.
He was in this more than I thought he was going to be, but it didn't turn into a John Wick movie. Like it was still Ballerina's. It was still Eve's movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I got for non-spoilers. Yes, I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I had a good time. I thought it was fun. Like Cheryl said, it's nonstop. It is. Movie, the pacing of this movie is kind of relentless. There are moments where you think she's going to have like a moment to take a breath and
eat a sandwich,
and then somebody kicks in the door and starts shooting at her.
Literally.
It's like she really doesn't have a moment where she stands for 60 seconds and she's just like still.
That happened at least twice.
Yeah,
for sure.
There was one scene when she goes to a shop in the third act and she's
trying to load up. It's the load up on the gun.
She's a lover of spin up ballerina music boxes.
Yes.
Well, it's not in a box. I don't know what you call it when it's in a globe.
A globe.
A wind up ballerina.
Yes.
Musical toy. And I thought she was going to have a moment in there. And she has like half of a moment. But once again, somebody interrupts her moment because she is constantly in the threat of being killed.
What's funny is that wasn't even the scene I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the scene where she loads up on her guns and gets interrupted.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
So that was also one scene.
Yeah.
So it does the thing where it skips the John Wick 1 pacing, where the John Wick 1's pacing was mostly about building up story because we have to be introduced to him and be introduced to his world. And it goes straight to John Wick 2, where he's on the run constantly and he doesn't have a moment to take a breath at all.
We started the John Wick 2 pace.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which I enjoyed. I also think Ana de Armas did a good job with the action sequences.
Agree.
She did very good. It was very convincing. She gets her butt kicked a lot.
I appreciated that.
Which I appreciated because she does always win.
It was relatable. No,
yeah. And her fighting style was unique. Like she uses her skills that
Yes.
are strong for her. They do like the fight like a girl thing, which I think is a weird comparison.
They only did it one. I'm glad it didn't like keep coming up.
I would have preferred her to just say fight dirty.
Okay, fair enough.
Just say fight dirty.
Fair enough.
She was like, cheat, fight like a girl. And I was like, well, I mean, that's not girl specific. Just fight dirty. John Wick fights dirty.
Right.
Like
we don't need a gender specific fighting style.
So I thought her action sequences are good. Acting wise, there wasn't a lot of room for acting for anybody in here. But
it wasn't bad.
It doesn't have to be. It's a John Wick movie.
We didn't care.
We just need people who can read the lines and do it well.
But you know, let me tell you, I'll step back. If the acting was on the lines of like Madam Web, but the action was on the same pace, it would have made it a worse movie. So we hear the acting still needs to be legit, but it ain't got to be the
We're
star
not
of the
saying
show.
it's bad acting. We're just saying it's not a lot of room for acting.
Right, because we shooting up bang bang.
Nobody's monologuing. We're not getting slow scenes.
Monologues.
No monologues. We're not getting slow scenes where like people are like talking or having long drawn out discussions. Mm-hmm. I think the person who has the longest round of dialogue is Winston at the beginning. He has the most to say out of everybody in this movie. Yeah.
And even when people are talking, like it's about killing somebody.
Yeah, and most of the scenes are interrupted by gunfire. So,
yes, appropriately.
Yeah. So I think that they did a good job by making the plot light because it's a John Wick movie.
They know what we are here for.
The other ones aren't plot heavy, so why switch it up for this one?
Why make it
do
new?
it wrong?
Agree.
Another tidbit. I'm glad that the movie turned out well.
Yes.
And I'm glad I enjoyed it because one of the fun facts that I found out is that even though Len Weissman directed this, Chad Stahelski apparently reshot most of it.
You know what? I looked that up because it came up. And what's the director's name?
Len Weissman?
He came back and said that actually technically was not true.
So it wasn't mostly reshot?
He said that him and Chad worked together. And Lionsgate had them shoot more movie because they liked it.
Interesting.
So the truth might be somewhere in the middle.
There's some sources that are like Chad Stahelski reshot most.
Oh, that was
of
a
it.
news thing that came out.
Yeah, and the reason behind it was that basically he didn't like what was shot, and because it was going to be implanted in the center of the storyline, he was like, "Nah, I got to come back and fix this."
I remember that because
that
people were kind of like, "Oh, this not looking good," but I looked it up because I was going to add that tidbit in. But the director was like, that wasn't necessarily true.
So what we know is
I don't know. Chad came in.
When the final box office earnings come in for this, they'll start telling the truth and throwing the blame out.
Chad came in and wrecked my movie.
Yeah.
You'll be like, but you just said.
Once the final box office numbers comes out, they'll start throwing stones at each other.
I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle. I do think it's interesting though that they did bring Chad in. Was kind of like, hey, whether they want to change or add, that they brought somebody else in to do that. So maybe they felt like maybe they feel like it needed to be more John Wicky. Who knows?
Why? I mean, unless Chad decided he didn't want to do this or he didn't have time, why go with a different director anyway? Just keep it with Chad.
Right, because what is Chad's doesn't have anything coming out super close. So I don't know.
He's working on next John Wick now.
Oh, right.
So
yeah, it was an interesting choice to make a different director, but maybe Chad wasn't interested.
I just find it interesting when they do that, when they'll have a franchise built up or a good movie built up for one director, and then switch to a different director for some inexplicable reason for the next movie, and then the two directors have beef, like James Cameron or Ridley Scott with Alien. It's like, well, why didn't you just
do the movie?
Yeah. It's just so strange.
They were clearly going to pay you.
Just do the movie. You ended up doing it anyway, allegedly.
Right.
So
interesting indeed.
That's all my non-spoiler thoughts.
All right, so we're going to get into our spoiler thoughts here. If you don't want to be spoiled for this movie, trust me, you already know how it ends, so it probably don't even matter. Right. You can stop now and come back where we're going into spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. So let's start off with our characters. Ana de Armas plays Eve Macaro, and the young Eve Macaro. So we open the movie with a Eve who's, 12, 13. She young. Is played by Victoria Comte. I don't recognize her from anything.
She's way too young for me to recognize her.
Right. The little girl was fine. She did cool. She's only in it for like the first 10 minutes or so. Ana de Armas for the rest of the movie, because we never go back to young Eve, obviously. She was good. Yeah. I mean, Jay kind of already touched on it. She fits the John Wick aesthetic.
One of the things about, and I don't know if it's cheating
Okay.
necessarily, but one of the things about John Wick is anybody could be an assassin. Like
True.
the extras that you wouldn't think would be an assassin will turn around and like a mom in a sweater set will whip out a Thule.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? I didn't see that coming, but it makes sense.
It did. Now, right, because in I can't think of what John Wick it was, where he was like on a run, they put the hit out on him, and then all of a sudden everybody named Mama was an assassin. Yeah. So she fits the aesthetic of you believe she could be an assassin. Right. I guess is what I'm trying to get across. She don't give some characters, some actors play characters. She's like, it's not coming across like you're not a good politician.
I have a perfect example.
Yes.
Tatiana.
Okay. Tatiana, who's not on our character list.
She could not pull off assassin.
No.
And I got that.
Tatiana is a side character who we meet early in the movie. She is also in the house trying to be an assassin, being trained. And Angelica Houston's kind of like, the girl not going to make it. Mm-hmm. She's an actual dancer.
Right.
She needs to go dance. So that was the perfect character of kind of like they didn't force any character, any actor into a character where it didn't fit. So she's good through all this. I think she did a lot of her own fight scenes. She did very good fighting. I like how they kept, it's not a John Wick copy, but I like how they kept her character to where she does the John Wick thing of just using everything around her. Mm-hmm. She does that very well. Like it kind of makes her character smart in a sense of kind of like, there is a plate over there. Use the plate because your gun is too far away. Right. Things like that. So her character, it makes very good use of everything around her. And she fits into the whole, she's an assassin, but she's cute. And you're like, you don't know whether she's going to smile at you or cut you. Mm-hmm. She does that very well.
Yeah. I mean, there's not like a whole bunch of dialogue in here. It's probably, it's the only dialogue is just somebody saying, I'm going here to do this. Or this is my plot purpose. Right.
I'm angry.
Yeah. So
stuff like that.
As far as the action sequences, I think she did a really good job in. Her performance as an assassin, like you said, was believable. We get her in 3 different stages. We get her as a child. We get her as a ballerina practicing to become an assassin. And then we get another 2-month time jump.
Where she's in her line of work.
Where she's fully in her line of work. Mm-hmm. I found that believable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I guess before she becomes a full-fledged assassin, she's kind of got that, I'm ready, and they kind of like, not really. Because we see her training and getting her butt kicked. Yeah. Essentially. She not firing on all cylinders just yet. So she played, like the little girl plays little girl fine. She plays that I'm building up to be an assassin, but I'm not quite ready yet. And then she does the very good, I'm full assassin, I'm ready to like go.
Yeah. All right, Angelica Houston as the director, reprising her role from the other John Wick movies, the leader of the Ruska Roma.
She's in this more than I thought she would be.
She was in this more than I thought she would be, but she was the same.
Yeah, she was. There no notes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, she was the same.
Everybody from the other movies in this, I don't really have notes for. They were just as good.
Yeah, she gets a little bit more dialogue than she usually gets. Okay. But, I mean, she's had talking scenes. We've seen her talk with John Wick and the other ones. Yep. She's the same character. She has the same role.
I'm glad they didn't change her character at all.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't
that could have been something they did.
I'm glad they didn't make her softer because she was dealing with Eve.
Nope.
She's everybody gentler because all the characters are women now.
Right.
I'm glad she was the same.
She was literally the same character. So if you liked her in all the other John Wick movies, you would like her in this. I do like that we got to spend more time with her, though, because I think her character is cool. Yeah. In general. But, yeah, she perfect. I don't have any notes for that one.
Gabriel Byrne plays the Chancellor. Who is the villain of the film?
I was going to say, I didn't say that earlier because I don't want to spoil it. Well, I didn't say it in the when we were doing the cast because I didn't want to spoil it. He plays a good...
He's fine.
There it is.
He also doesn't have a lot to do.
Okay, you described it.
My notes on this was the villains in these movies are very interchangeable.
Except, what's our guy? Who's our guy? Nosferatu.
Oh, Skarsgård. He was good.
I feel like
But I'm thinking as far as like their role in the movie and threat level.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean his performance was fine.
I see what you mean.
Absolutely. I'm just mean all the villains in these are kind of the same. It's kind of like a villain of the week. It's a group. It's a guy sitting at the head of a table with a whole bunch of assassins below
and he
him.
Talks like, even though he doesn't have a bunch of lines, he have a few scenes where he says like 5 sentences and you're just like, yuck. Next.
All the villains in these think they're the center of the universe.
Right. They're the smartest. They've, they know more than you.
Yeah.
They're playing the game better than you can play the game. It's very the acting's fine.
Yeah.
It's a very run-of-the-mill villain, though.
He's also not in this movie a lot.
He is at the beginning.
Yeah.
He is at the very end.
And none of the villains in a lot of John Wick movies do a lot until the third act. Like even Skarsgård, we just get scenes of him like on phone calls and pacing and talking and telling people to go kill John Wick. And
You're right.
He finally gets a moment at the end. So I think as a John Wick villain, he did a good job.
Yes.
Gabriel Byrne, I just remembered, or you just reminded me, is from Hereditary. He was nice in Hereditary. He was the sane dad. And Toni Collette accidentally set him on fire when she threw the book in the fireplace.
Was it an accident?
It was, because I think it had something to do with, I'm not sure if the book was cursed to where it just would not burn her. Okay. Or if it was one of those things where
I do remember that scene, though.
If you try to light the book on fire, the person who was the last person to touch the book catches on fire.
Yeah, okay. Now I say it like I seen it. I watched the kill count, but I remember that scene.
Yeah, because I think she was originally going to burn up because she tried to burn it the first time. Okay. And then she tried to do it again, but forgot that he touched it. So, and then he ended up burning alive.
That movie's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember him from Man in the Iron Mask with Leo played. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's where I remember him.
I would not have recognized him.
It was D'Artagnan.
Wow. Okay.
It was. It's a good movie, by the way.
Norman Reedus is in this movie as Daniel Pine. He was fine. There was nothing wrong with him, but his role was unnecessary. I had notes about this.
Anybody could have played this character, so I'm very surprised that they got like Norman Reedus, who's known from The Walking Dead, to be like, "Hey, Norman, you want to be in this movie for like 4.5 minutes? Sure."
I think Norman Reedus' character was fine.
Yeah,
his performance was fine, but I also think that his character didn't need to be in this movie and probably should not have been. So they introduced a side plot, and he could have just been anybody. So they introduced a side plot of Norman Reedus.
You think his whole side plot was unnecessary?
Unnecessary. Okay. They introduced us in this movie. There's a side plot where Norman Reedus is a member of the Chancellor's cult, because the big crux of this movie is that it's a cult of assassins.
Right, not just regular rules. Right.
And they live out in Transylvania somewhere.
Basically.
Off the grid.
They own town. They own everything.
Right. So Norman Reedus is supposed to be playing a character just like her father, who had a child. For some inexplicable reason, you're an assassin who has kids, which is irresponsible.
One of my notes.
I hold grace because Halle Berry.
Whatever.
But also now you're an assassin in a cult, so you're super deep into wackiness, and you're also having kids, which is crazy.
Makes no sense.
It's dumb. But he is on the run. Yeah. He's taking his child with him.
Of course.
Ana de Armas is looking for anybody who has a connection to this gang that she can kill and question.
Correct.
And I thought what was going to happen was that she was just going to go up there. They were going to have a fight scene. Yeah. She was going to kill him, get the information from him, and that would lead her to our third act, or at least lead her to the next person. Chancellor. To the next person to lead her there. Okay. But what ends up happening is that he's on the run because he also has a daughter
that he wants out of the cult.
As well. Right. And they decide to work together for about 3 minutes. Sure. Before Norman Reedus is quote unquote killed.
Yeah. We saw a body, but we saw the body moving.
And the daughter is kidnapped by the cult.
Like they wanted.
And Norman Reedus is like, well, before he dies, quote unquote, he tells Ana de Armas that he has to protect her. So Ana de Armas is like,
daughter, go with this strange lady you just met.
So Ana de Armas now has this. I think the movie was trying to make it so she has this second motivation now to go after. Unnecessary.
It did. You know what? I thought that too, and it don't get fleshed out because once the daughter gets kidnapped by the cult, it's kind of like, well, girl, you lost the daughter.
Yeah,
immediately.
It's different. It would be different if the daughter got kidnapped and Ana de Armas had a way to track her.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, so the daughter got kidnapped. It makes sense why they incorporated her in the story, because Eve can track the daughter and find out where they are, because that was the whole point. But she completely loses the daughter, has no trace of her.
Immediately.
And it's by stroke of chance that the guy at the gun shop happened to know where they might be, that she ended up going there. So the daughter didn't even work. Norman Reedus nor the daughter even worked as plot devices. They were just extra in the plot.
Yeah.
And I don't think she needed extra motivation.
No.
I was fine with the revenge plot.
Well, it didn't even seem like she even thought nothing else about the little girl till she popped back on the
She
scene.
never thought about the little girl. She never mentioned I have to go out here because there's a little girl in danger too.
Well, and at the end of the movie, when we get the big reveal, which I won't say now, you would think, oh, she's doing this because she was in a, the similar situation or whatnot. But she ain't know that to the end. So it was just kind of like.
And to add to that, it made the daughter's plot seem even more insignificant because we see there's a whole bunch of kids there. And she didn't go save any of them.
It's a whole school of kids,
and
y'all.
She killed most of their parents because we find out most of the town is killers.
All.
So she orphaned a whole bunch of children in that town, but she didn't walk any of them out into the sunset.
Yeah, she just took the one.
Yeah. So it's like, this is unnecessary.
And then we don't find out what happens to the little girl.
We don't, because they do not matter as characters in this world.
No, because she's still an assassin at the end of this. And no, we don't circle back to
and
the
girl won't grow up to become an assassin because
hopefully not.
The whole point was Norman Reedus wanted her to have a regular life.
Right.
And then he doesn't die.
No.
Which is weird.
Oh, you're right. The little girl goes back. I forgot he lived.
Yeah.
The little girl goes back with Norman Reedus, who apparently did not die of his wounds.
2 notes about that.
Yeah.
One, when in the scene when they're shooting Norman Reedus, it doesn't look like a kill shot. It looks like he shot him in the thigh, and then Norman Reedus passed
was
out.
Still shaking and moving. I was like, he's still alive.
Yeah, I was not convinced he was dead. So when they tried to act like he was dead, I was like, well, no, he wasn't.
You weren't. Yeah.
And then
his leg was moving for sure.
And then in the end, when he was alive, I was like, this makes no sense. This is a John Wick movie, and he's an inconsequential character. Why is he not dead?
Why did she not pop a bullet? Like, the people chasing him did not pop a bullet in his brain.
Why didn't they kill her? Why was the girl, who we'll get to later, so she was like, she loved knocking Ana de Armas out. Shoot this girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a John Wick movie. Why are y'all spending so much time knocking people out and just walking off when y'all know that y'all are killers and these people will come back?
Like, she didn't need to be alive.
Nobody tried to knock out John Wick.
No. They was trying
and
to
just leave him.
Shoot that man head
I thought it was strange in the scene when her and Norman Reedus are on a run together. They get caught. The daughter gets kidnapped. They shoot Norman Reedus in the leg. In the leg. He passes out. And they knock Ana de Armas out. And instead of killing her,
they bring her back to the chancellor.
Yeah.
Or the whatever.
They should have killed her. One, because y'all are a cult with no rules.
Why did they even need to keep her alive?
Y'all are supposed to be so unruly and no rules. Y'all shot up one of the armories. Because
this movie is not about like Ana de Armas has like a key or a code or a special artifact that they need. No. And they just know that she's chasing them and they don't know why.
And when the main henchwoman knocks her out and they get the daughter and she calls the chancellor on the phone, she was like, there was a woman. Chancellor's like, who? She was like, I don't know. We'll see. Why? Why wait and see? Kill her. She's an issue.
Right.
This is the world of John Wick.
I don't know why they killed her.
I thought that was weird.
Plot hole.
Yeah. But, fine.
We weren't here for plot.
If they killed Ana de Armas, there wouldn't have been a movie. But I thought it was weird.
Movie would have been an hour and 30 minutes. No, hour and a half.
Last characters on the list we'll do as a bundle,
yes,
which is our legacy characters, I guess.
Yeah.
This is Keanu Reeves, who is John Wick, Ian McShane, who plays Winston, and Lance Reddick, who plays Charon. They all are good.
Everybody who was in any other John Wick movie is good in this.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Lance Reddick. It was cool to see Ian McShane because he does Winston very well. And of course, it's John Wick. Of course, we like to see John Wick. John Wick got his own little solo fight.
He got his action sequences.
So I appreciated that. They were kind of like, here's your prize for sitting through this Lady John Wick movie. Here's John Wick doing a little thing. You're like, oh, I remember why I like all these movies.
Right.
So yeah, that was good.
And, I mean, it kind of spoiled his involvement. He's there because they send him to kill her, to stop her from inciting war or whatever. But he's John Wick. He does what he wants. So, he doesn't kill her.
He does. And she don't kill him.
He does what he wants, not what he's told.
Right. So. I guess the only thing to reveal when you watch the movie is, like, how they go their separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, does he... fake kill her or does he let her go?
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for him to snipe her in the shoulder and be like, I shot her.
I literally thought that's what's going on. And they were going to be like, oh, she's dead. And he's like, yeah, of course she's dead. He shoots
her in the shoulder. She falls off a bridge into a waterfall. And then he's like, she's dead, but he knows he didn't kill her.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not, he actually just lets her go.
And I would have been fine if that would have been the way it went.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Expecting
so I would have been okay.
Right.
Would have been fine.
All right. Likes and dislikes.
So I have the only thing I'll say I'll do dislikes first.
Okay.
Can I think of any?
I didn't have any.
I was going to say, do I have any dislikes? No. I actually don't think I have any, which is good for a movie.
Yeah, no dislikes.
Going on to my likes, I like seeing her training. So we didn't just skip to little girl assassin. We got to see her build up. I thought that was cool. They didn't draw it out too much. We got introduced to a character, Tatiana, who was her friend that she obviously had a connection with. We thought Tatiana was going to get it in the forehead, but she don't. She lived. Tatiana actually goes to be an actual ballerina. So that was a nice little twist. I like that she wasn't indestructible. So once again, they kept the John Wick theme or the John Wick aesthetic or whatever you want to say. John Wick is strong, and we know he's a Baba Yaga, but every now and then, John Wick get his butt kicked. Yeah. Now, she ain't no John Wick.
She ain't no Black Widow.
She ain't no Baba Yaga. She was getting her butt kicked quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, especially not only when she was training, but when she goes on her first mission, her target, or the person she's supposed to beat up, kicking her behind.
Yeah.
I liked it. It added a little bit of like realism to this unrealistic movie.
Yeah, I like the action sequences for her. Like
yes.
like I said with the Black Widow and sometimes the Black Widow and Yelena. I don't think I've ever seen them take a punch. So it's weird because it just seems like y'all they're too fast or too good. It's like you're indestructible.
She's not a widow.
She's not a widow, and I like that because it made I was more invested.
Yes. It made the action scenes cooler when both people are getting their butt kicked.
Yeah.
Equally.
Yeah.
And you're
it
like,
raises the stakes.
Who's gonna get beat up more? Because y'all both really kicking each other's behinds right now.
Yeah, and it kind of sometimes I thought she was gonna fail. Like in her very first job, she's tasked with protecting some girl. And she's getting her butt kicked by the henchman and the main guy. I'm like, well, she gonna fail her first job?
I thought she was.
I thought she was gonna fail.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
I thought she was gonna fail, and then it was gonna be revealed that it was just like a test, like another test. But no,
because they gave her rubber bullets.
They did. She was kind of like, excuse me? It's like, can you do the job or not? So that was good. I like her use of whatever was around her. So she made use of anything, plates, bowls, chairs, people, poles, ice picks, ice skates. She used ice skates. So I think John Wick does that too, where he just uses whatever he can to kill you. She does that, and she does that extremely well. She has a infinity for grenades.
Oh, I would have to say my notes is one of my likes.
The girl is a grenade. They should have called this a ballerina grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Because that's all she liked to use.
She loves grenades.
John Wick was in this. I like that John Wick was in this just enough, but not too much. And then I like that they didn't try to make this movie more than it needed to be. We didn't need no philosophical journey of being a woman, finding family, all that. I'm gonna need all that. We got lots of action, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, and I like you said about the John Wick, he wasn't in it too much. It very much felt like a John Wick side quest, which a side quest is not supposed to take all day. It seemed like it took about a few hours of his time, and that was it. And he was back on the main road to John Wick 3.
In his suit.
In his suit.
Same suit, actually.
So I like that. He wasn't involved too much, but they used him effectively.
Yes.
Grenades were amazing.
There was one scene where she used a whole box at once.
That was crazy.
That's smart, though. That's smart.
The box of grenades was insane.
Yeah.
So at one point, she's so surrounded, she just says, I'm not going to go one by one. I'm just going to throw this entire box of grenades and blow up this whole basement.
It's like a carton of eggs, but it's grenades.
She keeps putting grenades in people's mouths and blowing them up.
And putting them in their like shirts or whatever. Yeah, that was very good.
So they give her the really good, I would compare her grenade usage to the fire shotguns in John Wick 4.
Agree.
They give her her big, amazing, bombastic action sequence.
That was
I thought it was really good. And the scenes all the action sequences are long.
Good long. Unlike the last movie we saw, Mission Impossible.
Yes.
It was too long.
Yeah.
There's a balance here, guys, and this movie did it well.
The action sequences are good and long. What else? Oh, I liked that Tatiana lived. That was one of my likes. So Tatiana.
We keep bringing up Tatiana, but we was very thankful that she lived.
Tatiana was one of a side character.
She lived in this movie for 3 minutes.
She was the only friend that we knew that she had.
Correct.
She was kind of like they had their beds were right next to each other in the theater. And we see Tatiana does not have the medal for being an assassin.
Tatiana don't need to be here.
She wanted to be. It seems like they pick up people who have tragedy or have tragic past, and they try to train them to assassins, which makes sense. Angelica Houston was like, Tatiana had sadness, but she didn't have any pain or anger. We couldn't use that to make her an assassin. And we could see that Tatiana wasn't doing good at the guns.
She was last.
She wasn't doing good as a hostage. She kept getting shot.
She did, which is technically that was Ana de Armas's fault, but it's kind of like, girl, move to the left,
Have
move
some
to the
agency.
left,
Have some agency.
roll on the ground,
Right,
duck, something.
help her out.
Right, help me help you.
She was the greatest dancer in the theater.
Right,
and she was an actual dancer.
Right.
And there was a scene where Ana de Armas, and I was just waiting for it. Ana de Armas gets back to her room, and Tatiana's stuff is all folded up and it's gone.
Ain't nothing but the bed sheets.
And I'm like, oh Lord, they killed Tatiana. Because she wasn't doing it. And no, they just sent her off to go be a ballerina.
Lets her go.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool because, assassin movie, that was like the cult. The cult was kind of like, you don't get to leave.
Yeah.
And in this part of the training, they were like, you could technically go. Like,
and
the door's
unlocked.
unlocked.
Because she owns a theater. Angelica owns a theater, so why kill the dancer girl?
They're going to bring you some money.
Right, just make her a dancer. I was glad Tatiana got to go live a happy life.
Yes.
Because you don't see that in these movies. Even John Wick.
Yeah.
Even he couldn't get out. So
he could not. And John Wick actually tries to warn Eve to be like, now's the time to leave.
So the trick is to fail early. That's how you get
fail
out of
fast.
The assassin game. Fail fast.
That's what they say in IT. You fail fast.
And so I was glad that she got to live. Sidebar.
Yeah.
So there was a scene where I thought that they were going to bring Tatiana back when Ana de Armas has to do her killing test.
Yes. We don't know it's a killing test yet until we get there.
So they put her in a room. There's 2 guns on a table. Each gun, the guns are dismantled. Each gun has 1 bullet. They put 2 people in a room. Whoever can put the gun together the fastest, kill the other one wins. Sidebar, they brought in, I guess, a former member of the Ruska Roma.
Yes. So somebody they were clearly trying to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, do you know who I am? And Eve was like, no. She's like, I'm you in 10 years. And it's like, oh, what'd you do?
Who was the original Yukio from Wolverine when he was in Japan.
Right.
They replaced the actress in the Deadpool movies. And cast her for some. She was the one who always goes, "Hi, Wade."
Yeah.
They replaced her, but she was the original Yukio.
Yeah, we thought that was gonna be Tatiana, but it ended up being her, and we were like, unfortunately, woo, not Tatiana.
Sorry.
But Eve kills her to pass her test, and we never find out like who the girl is, what she did, why they brought her back in. So that was kind of like, ooh.
And my last is the Prague Continental.
Oh, that place was swanky.
The Prague Continental. Listen,
Swanky.
the New York Continental ain't got nothing on the Prague Continental.
Some upgrades.
The door was amazing.
It was like a revolving door, but it
was like a huge circle.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it.
It was amazing.
It was nice.
The Prague Continental is the Continental you want to be at.
Okay.
The suite.
It was like all marble.
Oh, it was amazing.
It
looked uncomfortable.
It a little too dark.
Yeah,
but it looked real nice.
Like there ain't no carpet, so you're gonna have to wear house shoes the whole time you're in there. It's gonna be cold. But the Prague Continental was the best Continental.
And when she rose up to it on a boat, and then she gets off the boat, and I was like, why they got this like gold and red carpet for this boat?
Yeah.
But she's walking up to the Continental, and I was like, we were both like, is that a Continental?
Yeah.
Oh, this nicer than what we usually see.
So we've seen a couple of different Continentals because every movie has like
Halle Berry had one.
There
was one in the last John Wick.
With Common, they were in a different Continental in
right.
the second John Wick.
In the second John Wick, okay.
Yeah, so we've seen a bunch of different Continentals. The Prague Continental is the best Continental.
The best one. New York's probably last, actually.
Yeah.
Of all the ones.
It's like the Disneyland and World of Continentals.
There's like Kings Island is like Cedar Point.
Right.
Cedar Point was like the Prague.
Yeah, it was great. I love the Prague Continental. I had to put that on my list of likes.
It was nice. It was like the house in black bag. We was like, ooh.
Yeah, I had the same reaction.
This is nice.
Where I was I'm not sure what the dialogue was in the Continental scene because I was distracted by the decoration.
She went up, tried to get a room. She went to the room.
Continental was great. I would like to go to Continental. I mean, not with the assassins.
Not with a bounty on my head.
It looks like it has great amenities.
Yeah, the food's probably good.
I wonder what the pool looks like.
Oh,
we haven't seen a Continental pool, but I bet it's amazing.
It's probably heated.
All right, that's all my likes and dislikes.
That is what the Continental show should have been about. Is them going
to the different continent. Oh God!
Listen, y'all do too much with these shows. Y'all just need to make it real simple.
Put us in the writer's room.
Hello.
We have ideas.
We have things that we would like to do besides our day jobs.
Right.
Anywho, let's talk about the ending. So the movie ends. How you think it's going to end?
So the whole third act is an hour.
It is.
And
it goes.
Is non-stop. I mean, at one point I was wondering, like, where's this girl going to hide?
Yeah. We get our flame throwing scene in the third act.
So the good twist, which I don't know if you had this on your list of twists, the whole town was assassins. So I thought that the cult was just hiding out in this
in
town
a town that already
because
existed.
it was remote and nobody thinks about it and
it's
bothers
cold,
it.
right.
No, the town is made up of the cult.
Yes.
So when she arrives in the town and she's like making a stop and she gets like a tea or a coffee somewhere,
a little cute little coffee shop.
I'm thinking that the patrons are clearing out because they live here. They know that there are cult people who live here, so they're clearing out because
they don't want to be involved in this business.
So and so just pulled up outside. They know he's always about trouble, so they're all leaving. But no, they're all going outside to get their guns so they can come back in and help kill her.
Yeah,
which
so
is crazy.
She has a fight. As soon as she get her coffee, the chopper starts ringing out. Okay, she don't taste the coffee or nothing. No. And then we realize there's a cutscene outside, and luckily our theater only had like 10 people in it. So when me and Jay had this loud moment, it was okay. They pan outside, and a girl or a woman that we see earlier in her cute little comfy sweater pulls out like a freaking handgun.
Because we see her 3 times.
With a Glock, and she's like, and we were like, whoa.
Right.
All y'all are killers? Everybody is a killer.
Because we ended up, the first time we see her, she's in the shop with her son.
Yes.
And then she leaves in a hurry. So we're like, okay, she's definitely not involved.
She looks concerned, like, oh, we need to get out of here. This is not safe.
And the next time we see her is they do a quick shot of her outside when they're shooting on the inside. She's still
running
son,
or something,
and she's
right?
still running with her son. We're like, okay, she's definitely getting up out of here.
Yeah.
But then the next scene, the son is gone. She has clearly put him in the house.
Yes, to bed.
And went and got her shotgun.
Literally, she goes clank, clank, runs back in, and we are like, whoa. Yeah. So the whole town is literally made up of the cult of assassins.
I loved it.
So Eve cannot escape anywhere because everybody who sees her is trying to shoot her.
Yeah.
So the last hour of the movie is just shooting and fighting and shooting, fighting. There's a great scene in the coffee shop where she's using plates and knives and all. The girl who served her the coffee
comes back.
Assassin.
It turns out to be an assassin.
Yeah. So, and all that leads up to our actual end where we get to a character that we didn't have on the list because she's a major character, but she's not in it that much.
Her plot,
quick.
They put her plot in very heavy at the end.
Catalina Cedeno Moreno plays a character called Lena. Now we see Lena when Eve wants to go meet with Norman Reedus. She's the one who knocks Eve's out. She's the one who brings Eve to the Chancellor. Come to find out, this whole thing, Eve's father was killed because he tried to leave, or he did leave with Eve. Well, earlier in the movie, there's mention of a sister. Lena, who has been clocking Eve, is her sister because the Chancellor is their grandfather. And the reason why they killed her dad is because once the cult's rule is once you in there, you cannot leave. So that's why they was trying to get Norman Reedus and his daughter because he was trying to leave. So the end of the movie ends how you think it is. She ends up killing the Chancellor. Of
course.
But the plot twist is that the Chancellor is her grandfather.
Yeah.
And we find her sister is Lena, and then 30 seconds later, they blow up the house and Lena dies.
So that makes Norman Reedus her uncle?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yes?
They don't touch on that. And see,
wait a minute, wait.
Shouldn't have been involved.
Was her... Yeah, you're right.
Or is he actually their grandfather? Or does he just say that to all the children?
It is given very cults always got like a leader, a follower, a dad, or whatever.
I'm saying white. And
Lena is definitely
wasn't.
And Lena ain't white either.
Right. So does he just say that to all the kids?
Maybe.
Weirdo.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But Lena's definitely her blood sister.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Chancellor had her dad killed because he left with Eve. Mm-hmm. So at the very end, we get to our final scene. The Chancellor's giving this long monologue. He still has the little girl, Norman Reedus' little girl with him. And he's like, it doesn't matter what happens here. Like, the people in this town are going to live on, blah, 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 blah. And mid-speech, Eve pops him in the eyeball.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
And she takes the little girl back to Norman Reedus, who lives stupidly.
Yeah.
And then she goes to see Tatiana at Swan Lake.
Yes.
And then the cult, which is actually still active, puts a hit out on her, kind of like how John Wick got. So she's officially on the run. Yeah. Because the cult has a bounty on her head.
Her bounty is higher than Norman Reedus's was.
Yeah, it's like $5 million.
Yeah.
And his started at 2, then they bumped it up to 4. Now hers is 5. Now she technically is supposed to be safe in a Continental because Winston don't play that junk, but They clearly are setting up a sequel with her being on the run.
Yeah. And I would see that.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Favorite line or scene? I didn't have a favorite line.
No, ain't a lot of talking.
But my favorite scene would probably be the action sequences where she uses all the grenades in the armory.
Okay.
And
that was
it was
good.
because I was because the scene starts off as such a surprise. You do not expect them to come into the armory because usually that's not a place of violence.
Yeah.
The Continental and the armories are off limits.
Right. They lighten it up. Lighten it up. I would say my favorite would have to be in the coffee shop where she's using she's using the junk on the centerpieces on the table. She's using the plates. She's having a plate off with the chick. She locked one chick in the cooler and the chick still get out because somebody else came in and let her out. It was great. And it was just nonstop from start to finish.
Honestly, that whole third act, once she got to the town.
The last hour.
Yeah. Once she got to the town, it was crazy because I was like, it's half the movie and this is the whole third act is this half of the movie. But once she got to the town, it was great. It was amazing.
It was good. And also, I would say second favorite scene was her fighting John Wick because they appropriately made it to where she could not beat John Wick.
Right.
John Wick was like fighting her but not trying to kill her. And he's like, just leave. Can you just go? And they make a pact of where he's like, all right, you got 25 minutes to go kill this man. And if you don't kill him, I'm going to kill you. And at the very end, when she shoots the Chancellor, John Wick got her in the scope like, I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it before I did it. So that would probably be my second favorite because they made it to where John Wick wasn't like weak. He was like kicking her behind.
Wasn't my favorite scene, but is a scene of note.
Yes.
The scene when she thinks she's about to drive off in the beginning of the movie, and the SUV runs into her and drags her right back to the alleyway.
So she finishes doing a job.
Which we don't see.
This is like she's officially an assassin now. Now she's walking out of the club and we just see all the dead bodies.
And they do the accountant thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in the account too, where we see the end and then they walk us back through how our character got in the place. And it's just a litter of dead bodies of all the people she's killed on the way. She gets outside. She's obviously already crashed one car. No, we're not sure how nobody clocked that. But she gets into her car that has a person pinned up against the wall. And she drives off like, okay, I'm done. About to go get me some lunch.
The music starts playing.
About to go pick up my grocery pickup, whatever. And as she's crossing the light, another car looks like it's about to hit her, and it does. And it crashes into her and pushes her all the way back to the club that she just left from.
And we get like a shootout fight sequence. I thought that was really good.
That was good.
CGI was a little wonky, but who cares?
I noticed it, but it moved on.
I was so surprised because she pulls off, she speeds off, the background music starts playing.
Yeah, like we going to the next scene of the movie.
Yeah, and it doesn't. And I thought that was good.
She got her car rocked very well.
And I think she had to walk.
She did because she had no car.
She had no car after that.
Because he tore it up. So that was a good scene.
Good.
That was a good scene.
Random notes?
Do I have any? Oh, let's see. Why are bad people having babies?
Oh, God.
Or should I say, excuse me, why are assassins? I ain't gonna call nobody good or bad. Why are assassins having kids? That was the crux of this movie. If nobody had a kid, we wouldn't be here.
That's true.
And then Tatiana Lives. That was one of my every other random mode I went to. But I just want to once again say thank you for not killing Tatiana.
Yeah, absolutely. I was glad Tatiana lived. I felt the way about Tatiana living the same way I felt about the best friend living in Hard Eyes.
I was going to say Tapisa.
Or Tapisa, yes. Or Tapisa.
There are some characters in movies who are they're not leads. They might not even be co-leads. They like at the bottom of the cast list, but you just like, can they live?
Yeah.
Give me a little levity in this movie.
And they're not even like engaging enough to be side characters.
We don't know nothing about Tatiana other than she a ballerina and she lived.
Yeah. So and I was glad.
Yeah.
I had one note. Winston showed up like Professor X to pick up Jean Grey when he came to get her in the beginning. With the hat and everything. I was like,
and the speech that you kind of like, I mean, it sound good.
And he looks slightly de-aged. I was like, this is giving Professor X going to meet Jean Grey for the first time.
Yeah.
And my last note was I thought there's a fight sequence in the third act when after she's doing after the flame gun fight sequences.
After the flame
which
gun.
I liked, but it wasn't my favorite. So much random stuff had happened in the movie.
The flames got a little too unrealistic.
I think
for a second.
Also that one, I couldn't get past the reason why is this gun here? I feel like it'd be more effective to just put a bullet in somebody and watch them burn it.
They should have been shooting each other, but anywho.
But they also showed the flame sequence through all the promotion.
Right, and we had already seen it.
All the stuff they didn't show in the promotion, like the whole fight in the town thing. I found much more engaging in the grenades.
Agree.
We didn't mention this, but the small scene of her killing the people with the ice skates.
Oh yeah. I saw somebody mention ice skates in like a non-spoiler review, and I thought she was gonna be skating across the pond. No, she kills multiple people with ice skates.
I thought one fight sequence was dumb when she's fighting the final henchman guy with the flame gun, and he decides to put one of his feet on fire to kick her.
Yeah, that was
I didn't get that.
the flames was like a great idea, and I feel like they were trying to recreate the overhead shot scene in John Wick 4 with the loud shotgun. Not quite as effective, and it went just a touch. It was like we're almost getting too long here.
What was your thought process here? You were going to, if
Set
you
her
let
on
your, like it was attempting to do a super move.
She had a flame retardant jacket on.
Yeah, and I didn't get how your foot burning made your kick more effective.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's not like
it's actually the reverse.
This is not Mortal Kombat.
Right.
It's not Tekken.
Exactly.
It don't work that way.
Up BX square.
Nope.
Did you have any other random notes?
Nope, that was it.
All right, let's get to our rating.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna minus the half because there is no story.
The plot is nothing.
But I will say,
and predictable as heck.
If they had tried to write story,
it would have been.
My review would probably be lower.
I mean, it'd be a 3.
You're right.
Like it's too much story, not enough action. Yeah.
So it's one of those movies where y'all didn't leave a lot of space to critique, and that's technically cheating. But fine, I had a good time.
Right.
So
I mean, listen, our rating scale is not like we're not the New York Times. Y'all.
Our ratings are nothing.
Right. It's not the whatever, not Library of Congress or nothing. Yeah, I would 4.5 Nicole Kidman's for me, half off for plot. But my expectations were pretty low, and it exceeded it. And it's a great John Wick spinoff. They did good with this.
It was very good.
Yep.
All right, so Ballerina, go see it.
Check it out.
It needs the money.
Lord, Halle Berry's definitely not getting her spinoff.
She's not, and that's fine.
And they need to think about how they're gonna handle this Donnie Yen movie spinoff. But I guess he's a male. 2, he was actually also in the movies, so I guess we at least know about him first.
But I guess he's a star. But what's her name? Rina Sawayama is supposed to be the second lead in it because they're picking up at the end of their joint storyline. That's what they were. So
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Y'all should check this out though. It's a good theater watch for sure.
As the first spinoff movie, I am more optimistic about the Donnie Yen one.
Okay.
As another spinoff. I think that they can handle spinoffs.
Yes. If they stick to the same formula, they'll be good.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to lecture me. I don't need it. I'm not here for that.
That is our review of Ballerina. Go see it. What are we watching next week?
Venetian Scheme.
Yay.
Which got a B, I think.
Yeah.
Cinema score.
This will be our first Wes Anderson film.
It will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Me too.
It seems like it'll be good and quirky and something different.
Yeah, and it's because we go to the movies to see different things.
Listen, you will find a wide variety of our episodes and what movies we watch.
Because the movies don't always have the same type of thing out. The movies have varieties of films, and we would know because we actually go and experience that variety.
This is an original.
And it's an original. So that means that it better hit $1 billion because that's what everybody wants. Original
Every
films.
movie needs to hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
And if it don't, it's flop.
Exactly.
Slap, flop.
So this is non-MCU slop original storytelling.
Listen,
so y'all better be in attendance.
This ain't no live action remake.
Right.
Okay. I didn't look up it actually came out this weekend. And I didn't look up the numbers. We'll have those for next episode.
I don't think they make a lot of money. I don't think it's
right. We'll see.
But he has a fan base.
We'll see if y'all actually show that though.
Yeah.
Next week, Venetian Scheme.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on our website, vaguelynerdypodcast.com, where you can also leave us a voice message and we'll play it on the show if it's nice.
If it's not, I'm finding you on LinkedIn and getting you fired.
If it's not, we're going to find you and we're going to tear your ticket.
Oh, there we go. But not going to jail,
no,
for that.
No,
they won't find us, but we find you.
You can follow us on Threads at IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, Blue Sky and Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod, and you can also reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening to us on the script went to the next page and I didn't scroll. If you're listening to us on a podcast app, you can watch us on our animated show on YouTube at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast as well.
And if you want to give us a monetary donation to help cover this hosting fee, you can give us a donation on Ko-fi.com/vaguelynerdypodcast.
Until next time.
Bye.